Hello, everybody. Well, it's March the 3rd. It is a beautiful day outside. Um, a little cool, but really, really sunny. I don't have to have any heat on in the house, and I just went outside today in my little jacket. Had to go pick up the paycheck today. I'm off every Thursday and Friday. And had a little in service. I just hate having in services on my day off because that takes up a little bit of my time. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was going to talk about James Arthur Ray. If you've been following CNN, you know James Arthur Ray is the self-proclaimed guru that ran the Sweat Lodge in Arizona where 3 people died. He would, I think, he would have these, I don't know what you would even call it. People would pay thousands of dollars to come see him and to follow him and to do what he would tell them to do. And his thought was that you could transform your thoughts into actions to achieve anything you want. And so there were different steps to the programs that he ran, and he gave a lot of speeches and stuff. And he's on trial. They carry it live on CNN because of the fact that 3 people died in the Sweat Lodge. I tend to find him as more of a like a David Koresh, a cult leader, so to speak. This is just my opinion. But they had said that he had compared himself a couple times to God. So, but so now he's on trial, and they're trying to charge him for 3 counts of murder. Wonder if they're going to be able to do that. I don't think so. As cult-like and a little bit evil that I think he may be, I don't see where they can possibly, where a jury can convict him of a murder charge, and I'm going to tell you why. Even though the coroner's report had said that on the 3 victims that died, that he found scalded skin and brown cooked lungs and brain tissue that had started to literally cook because of being in the Sweat Lodge. Now, does this mean James Arthur Ray killed these people? Some say yes. Some say no. On the fence. I think it is his fault. This is what on the news that they were saying how it's going to go in the court. They're going to say, the defense is going to say that he held nobody against their will, that there was no restraints, nobody holding them down. They had their will and their freedom to get up and walk out at any time they wanted to do, and they chose not to. The prosecution is going to say that while nobody was holding them down against their will, that when the brain starts to cook, that you're not in control of your thoughts anymore. You don't make rational decisions that you would otherwise make. Plus, given the fact that he had told them, James Ray had told them when they went into that Sweat Lodge, he told them, he said, you're going to feel like you're going to die. I guarantee it. So, the people that did die literally felt like they were going to die, but maybe they stayed with it thinking, well, this is where I'm supposed to feel. And he was trying to do that so they could sweat and cleanse the soul. And he wasn't really, as far as that, into religion, as far as self-motivation and cleansing the spirit, so to speak. But anyway, that's what the prosecution is going to get along. That they couldn't focus, so therefore they could no longer help themselves, and especially once they passed out, that they did not have free will. While these people paid thousands of dollars to follow him wherever he was at and to go into that Sweat Lodge, was it murder? Some say yes. I kind of have to say no, because even though they were in that sweat lodge and things went horribly wrong, they paid the money to be there. You know, they apparently had an interest in him, and they paid their money to be there. Just like the people of Jonestown. When some family members walked away and could not get their family members to go with them. And remember, that's when everybody drank the Kool-Aid and died, because he told them to. But anyway, I just believe that James Ray is a little bit like a cult leader. Now, whether or not he'll be charged with the murder, I don't know. I just don't see how a jury can charge him with murder. I just don't see it. They're talking about, they've got witnesses on the stand now talking about all the screaming and the moans and stuff of these people that were in there dying. And yet, nobody tried to help them out. You know, nobody did anything. So, if James Arthur Ray is responsible, then everybody inside that tent that watched these people sit there and die, aren't they a little bit responsible too? Because they didn't try to help? I don't know. I'm not blaming anybody, surely. But I'm just saying. But that's what's in the news now, James Arthur Ray. So that should be a little bit interesting. And I think they said Casey Anthony's trial starts in 9 weeks. That's going to be a very interesting trial too. Joe said that he wished that he could, that he lived in Florida and could be called for jury duty, because he would love to sit on the Casey Anthony case. And it's going to be, it'll be hard, I guess, to find a jury that hasn't heard something about the Casey Anthony case. My God, if you haven't heard anything about that by now, you're living under a rock. But it is going to be hard to find a jury. It's going to start in 9 weeks. And it irritates me when I see her parents on that stand, or when they talk to them, because they both seem so hateful and so rude. I understand they're under a lot of pressure, but I mean, it showed Casey Anthony's dad on the stand yesterday. And, you know, this is like a preliminary thing. And he was just talking out of turn and trying to overtalk the attorney. And the judge even had to tell him he cannot do that. Now, he's a police investigator, or he was. He should know better than this. But it's like he didn't care. And then when they asked Cindy Anthony a question, she was like, she didn't understand what they were saying. When the woman asked again, she's like, okay, well, I didn't understand that. I'm not a stupid woman. I just didn't understand that. So they just have an attitude problem, it seems to me. So I understand their frustration that their daughter is on death row for killing their only grandchild. But they can't be hateful to the media and everybody else, because they got to know in the back of their mind she's guilty. They got to know this. And if they don't, then they've been living under that rock with whoever was living under there a while ago. But anyway, there was a loud boom a little while ago. I got to watch the news here when it comes on at 5. I watched the news at 12, the local news, and they didn't say anything, but I was sitting in there online, and there was this real loud boom, and I could feel it through the floor. And it almost knocked me off of the stool that I was sitting on, and I actually thought that a truck or something had come down and hit my house. And it really scared me. And I jumped up, I started looking everywhere, didn't see anything, and about 3 minutes later, it happened again. And so I talked to my daughter, and she said it woke her up from sleep. So, don't know what's going on there. But anyway, I think that I have indeed rattled on long enough about James Ray. I just wanted to throw that out there and get your opinions on it and see where you stand with James Arthur Ray. Do you think that he should be held accountable for those 3 deaths in that sweat house? Do you think that he should? Or, oh, and then there was another man that they said, you know how they had these hot rocks and such in if you haven't watched the news, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you have, you'll know what I'm talking about, where they had those hot rocks around. and this man fell into one of them, and he was laying there. One woman described it as a blood-curdling scream, and nobody did anything to help. Nobody pulled him out. Nobody did anything. So, do you think that James Arthur Ray should be found guilty of these murders? Or do you think he should just be found liable? And if he's not found guilty of murders, I'm sure there's going to be some civil suits from family members that will follow. So he's definitely going to have something thrown at him if it's not a prison sentence. And so let me know what you think. Do you think you'd be able to find him guilty or not? Anyway, until next time, bye-bye.